Hi, you guys. It's Yaz. And today I'm going to talk about how the aging narcissist panics when they start losing their looks. As a narcissist ages, they start losing their looks and they're not who they were when they were younger. And they realize that. And that narcissist is going to panic, okay? Aging is like death to a narcissist. And why is that? Because a narcissist image is so important. Narcissists put value on beauty, the flesh, how somebody looks, and they put value on youth, all right? Narcissists always want to be around young people, okay? They love young supply and they want to look young, okay? So when a narcissist starts to age, they're going to go into panic mode. And what a desperate narcissist is going to do, they're going to do a couple of things. I'm going to get into the things that aging narcissists do to try to preserve their youth. The reason that they panic is because, number one, they can't get the supply that they used to get, okay? And that's a big blow to a narcissist when their supply starts to dry up because nobody wants to be around the aging narcissist. And, also, they don't want to they look at old people as something disgusting, and they don't ever want to be in that category. They don't ever want to be looked at as old. So when a narcissist starts to age, they're going to do these things, okay? Number one, they're going to fight for the youth card. And so they'll do a couple of things. Number one, they may do a lot of plastic surgery. Narcissists can become obsessed with plastic surgery because they're trying so desperately to stay looking youthful, okay? It's one thing to make yourself look better. It's another thing when you're obsessed with trying to be youthful. And that's the narcissist. The narcissist is obsessed with it. So they may overdo it with the plastic surgery. And a lot of times when you see people that get so much plastic surgery, like they are just obsessed with it, the problem is that they're an extremely insecure person. They need to work on themselves internally instead of externally. But the narcissist, everything is about appearances, so they'll be obsessed with plastic surgery. Another thing they're going to do is they're going to try to dress young, okay? If it's a female narcissist, she may be dressing with very short skirts, may be dressing very sexy, trying to appeal by using their sexuality to attract supply. So they're going to have to start dressing sexier in order to attract supply. And this is one of the most pathetic things you could ever see, is an aging narcissist struggling, trying to look sexy to get supply, okay? Have you ever seen an aging narcissist dress really, really sexy to try to get supply? If it's a guy, maybe have his shirt buttoned down all the way, tight pants or something like that. Or if it's a female, really tight outfit on with her chest hanging out and everything. And meanwhile, they look ridiculous, okay? They look ridiculous. They look desperate. They're trying so hard to attract supply because their age is creeping up on them, and they're doing everything they can to get that supply. The other thing that an aging narcissist will do is they'll be in the gym, okay? They'll be in the gym all the time trying to hold on to, looking good. And, like I said, there's a difference between somebody just taking care of their health and wanting to look good and somebody being obsessed with it because they're trying to attract young supply or supply. So the narcissist, the aging narcissist, is going to panic, be trying to work out all the time. I used to see them in the gym all the time. I used to see the old head narcissists in the gym all the time. They'd be in there trying to pick up young women, or, young supply. And they weren't in there because, it was a meat place for them, a lot of them. But they were also trying to look youthful as well. So they panic when they age. They'll be in the gym, they'll be doing plastic surgery, they'll be dressing sexy. A lot of them are into wrinkle creams, okay, trying to make their skin smooth and everything because, they don't want to show any signs of aging because that will kill their game in trying to get supply. And a lot of them want to get young supply. So they've got to try to look young themselves, all right? The other thing is, as they age, they will start to get bitter as well. They're going to get bitter because they realize no matter what they do, they're not 20 years old anymore, okay? And, all the plastic surgery, all going to the gym, all this, working on themselves, you can't, get away from father time. So they're going to be a little bit bitter. They're going to be a little bit angry because they can't get the supply that they used to be able to get. So what is a narcissist to do when they feel like they're aging? Well, if they have money, they're going to try to buy supply. All right. And that's where I say the difference between a narcissist who has money and the broke, busted narcissist. A narcissist who has money, an aging narcissist who has money, will always be able to have supply around them, okay? Because you will have people that want to be around people with money, even if they're aging. So they may attract young narcissistic people that want to be with them for their money. So that could be, let's say you have an aging male narcissist and he flashes money with a young female supply. Or you have an aging female narcissist who wants a young guy and she's letting him live in her house, or she's giving him money, or she's a sugar mama or something like that. So the narcissist will be so desperate that they'll be putting out money to keep these people around because maybe these younger supply are good looking. So they want good looking supply around them to make them feel youthful as well. So a narcissist with money will put their hand in their pocket and will, keep these people around. And sometimes they don't even care. They don't even care if they're being used by these people for money. It's just because they can't be alone and they want to be around somebody that looks good. So if that means that they have to support them or give them money, they don't care because they're a desperate and aging narcissist that needs to feel young, okay? Needs to feel young and needs to feel they have to have a good-looking person by their side. So some of them know that deep down that they're being used. They don't want to think that, but they may know that the person's there for money, but they don't care. They just want that person there because the person makes them look good and makes them feel good, makes them feel young to be around a good-looking person. Now, when it comes to the broke, busted narcissist, all right, it's not so easy for the broke, busted narcissist as they're aging. So what is a broke, busted narcissist? What's a broke, busted narcissist to do when they're aging? Well, in order to get younger supply or, get supply in general, they're going to have to kill you with, extraordinary love bombing. The people that love bomb the most, or the best rather, are the most desperate narcissists, okay? That could be the green card narcissist who wants to come to your country and, live off the fruits of the land. Those are the people that are going to love bomb you, tell you how much they love you. They're going to bend over backwards. They're going to have you on the phone night and day. They're going to be, making your head explode with so much kindness, so much flattery, offering to do things for you. See, the broke, busted narcissist can't really put their hand in their pocket because they got no money. So what they're going to do is they're going to offer favors. Oh, I'll help you with the kids. Oh, I'll do this. Oh, I'll paint your whole house. Oh, I'll do this. I'll make your life easier. So they're going to try to put themselves out like they're going to help you out because they're looking for a come up. They're looking for you to either maybe establish them in a business. They're looking to move into your house. They're looking for you to give them handouts of money. So the broke, busted narcissist is going to go out of their way to offer help to you, okay, or favors to you. And let's say you're a single parent. That could be a beneficial thing to somebody who's a single parent, needs help, and here comes the broke, busted narcissist looking to bend over backwards and help you when you're bogged down and, you just have so much responsibility. And they know that. And that's one of the reasons they target single parents, okay? Because they know that your responsibility level is high between trying to support a household, take care of kids on your own. So they swoop in there and say, I could help you with this. I could help you with that. I could do this. They offer all these gestures of, kindness, over the top kindness. Oh, I could do this for you. I could do that for you. Oh, don't worry, baby. We're in this together. Okay. Because they got nothing going for them. They're the broke, busted narcissists that have nothing going for them. And so they're willing to do all these things in the beginning, okay? Listen to what I'm telling you. They're willing to do certain things in the beginning. But once that narcissist gets in, let's say moves into your house, or they feel in with you, then you're going to see that narcissist pull back and you're going to see the wickedness in them because they didn't have the intentions to really help you out. They were just looking to get in, get you hooked, and then suck you for all the supply and money that you have. So this is what they do. And they'll target the aging narcissist as well. So the thing is, the broke, busted narcissist, it's harder for them. So that's why they have to bend over backwards to try to get that supply. All right. So when narcissists age, they're going to panic. They're going to do plastic surgery. A lot of them do a lot of plastic surgery. They're going to try to dress young, dress sexy. They're going to try to put themselves in places where there's young people, always in the gym because, looking good is everything. They're panicking with their age, buying the best wrinkle creams, everything. And, some narcissists, they'll even have to settle for supply that they normally wouldn't want to. And so what does that mean exactly? Well, as the narcissist ages, ring-a-ling-a-ling, 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 you just got a call from the narcissist from 10 years ago. Oh my goodness. See, this is when a narcissist could come back, all right? When a narcissist ages, they're going to go back into the archives of their exes and supply, and this is when you may hear from the narcissist because now they couldn't get the supply that they used to get anymore. So now they're going to try to go back to old supply they had. And normally they may not have wanted to hit you up and contact you, but they're contacting you because they're desperate at this point. And so they're going to take a chance by contacting you, even if they had a bad falling out with you. When a narcissist contacts you after a long time, especially, you're dealing with a narcissist who's desperate, okay? And that's why they're reaching out to you. So understand, when you hear from these people, if they could go, years without talking to you, months, years, decades without talking to you, and all of a sudden now they're reaching out to you, it's not because they miss you, okay? Because if they missed you, they would have never left you. It's because they're not doing well, and now they're reaching back into old supply to try to get any supply they can because they're not doing well. They're aging. They can't get the supply that they used to get. So now this is when you hear from them. Now this is when you get that text or that call from them because you know what? They're not 25 years old anymore. Now they could be in their 50s or older. And now you hear from the narcissist. Hey, how you been? I've been thinking about you. This is where they get their karma because you give them no response, okay? You don't entertain a narcissist who comes back months or years later because that person never cared about you. If they could walk away from you for a month or longer, They never cared about you. And that's where you have to keep that door shut, because this person's going to come back, use you for something, and waste your time. Your time is valuable. You wasted enough time with that narcissist, and you're not going to make that same mistake twice. So you're going to give them no response. So the aging narcissist becomes so desperate, they're going to hit up older supply, their exes, and try to contact them. That's when you really get your satisfaction. And you know, when you hear from that narcissist, they're not doing well, okay? But their karma is that you're not going to give them one response. You're not going to give them any supply. You're not going to entertain them anymore, all right? Now, moving along. The other thing that narcissists will do as they're aging, they get desperate for younger and younger supply, okay? Younger and younger supply. And, you know, this also could be the midlife crisis narcissist, all right? Where they're going through the midlife crisis and they feel this need that they have to get younger and the younger the supply is, the more the narcissist feels powerful, okay? That's why I say some of them are pedophiles. Some of them will go after somebody who's under 18 years old because they're sick in the head. That's what they are. They're predators and they're sick in the head. Not all narcissists are pedophiles, but all pedophiles are narcissists. And a lot of narcissists are, you know, into that young supply. And like I said, the younger, the better. Okay. Did you guys ever watch? They had this on, I think it was Dateline, MSNBC or something, where they catch these people going after 13-year-olds. These are people that like are, you know, the preppy father next door or the preacher or something like that. They caught them in a sting. All right. They did a sting on these people. This was a few years ago. And you saw all these men lining up to go meet a 13-year-old, okay? These are your everyday guys that you would never think, narcissistic men that were going after a 13-year-old, okay? And they're all over the place, and you'd be surprised. We had them where I grew up in a very nice neighborhood, okay? You would never think it could happen anywhere, all right? They're all over the place. So these are what these desperate narcissists do. They'll go after very, very young supply to feel powerful because they want to control them. They want to break them, okay? They want to break the young supply. And so that is a target because they're a predator. That's what they are. They're a predator. So, you know, they'll go after young supply, and it's because they're panicking and they're aging. I knew a narcissist that was older that went with a very much younger supply. And you know what he said? You know what he said to his girlfriend? He said, after he finally admitted that he cheated on her, you know what he ended up saying? This was a friend of mine that this happened to. He ended up saying to her, do you know what a high it was for me to go out with somebody who was 30 years younger than me? Do you know what a high it was? See, this is how the narcissist thinks. This is a high for a narcissist to be with somebody 30 years younger than them, okay? So, you know, it's a sickness. So it makes them feel young. You know, I'm able to get somebody 30 years younger than me. That makes them feel young, okay? That's what they want to feel. They want to feel like they still got it. They still young. So narcissists, one of the ways is by going with very, very young supply to make themselves feel young. And also it's a control thing, you know, feel like they can control these people. They're desperate, and some of them will even buy supply. They'll buy young supply. You know, they'll offer to do favors for them. They come in, I'll help you with this. I'll help you with your bills. I'll do that. A lot of these narcissists, they'll go after the young supply, offer to help them because they're predators and they're desperate to have that young supply. And, you know, the narcissist is also panicking because their looks are fading. So the narcissist, in order to make themselves feel relevant, feel important, they've got to surround themselves with younger people. They've got to do plastic surgery. They've got to be working on their body night and day. They've got to be, you know, going after all of these things to make themselves feel important. They don't ever want to feel like they're losing it, that they don't have it anymore, that they belong in a wheelchair. They don't ever want to feel that. And when they do get to that point where they're past that midlife crisis, now they're becoming really elderly, that's when they're going to torture whoever's left around them, okay? Who's ever around that aging narcissist, they're going to take the brunt of that miserable person that can't get the supply that they used to get. So they're going to torture these people, okay? They're going to torture them. Go get me this. Go get me that. They're going to give them sarcastic jabs. They're going to devalue the people that are around them, trying to help them out. I've seen this. I've seen this with elderly people who put down their kids or put down other people around them because they're miserable, because they're old and they're aging and they're sickly. And so they're going to put down, they may criticize how their kid looks. They may say, oh, you never were strong. Oh, you're this, you're that. They're going to devalue their children or devalue other people because they're miserable, because they're aging, all right? They'll take it out on the people that are around them. That's why I'm telling you, you don't want to be around a narcissist as they age, because you're going to be a target. They're going to look to torture you, all right? But you guys, this is what it is. Old age is, father time is coming down on the narcissist. They panic. They're struggling to look hot, to look sexy, to get supply, get as much as they can. And then once they're past that stage of, the desperate stage, trying to get whatever they can, maybe in their 50s, 60s, now they're getting older, then they become the bitter, miserable person that's looking to torture who's ever around. Okay, you see them in the nursing homes. I've had people comment of nurses who worked in the nursing homes, the hospices, where they said the narcissists were there. They were alone. They had no family. Nobody came to visit them because they were such miserable, angry people, and they used to take it out on the staff that worked there. Okay, imagine how horrible dealing with that. But yeah, this is what happens to these people, okay? Who's ever around is going to be the target, or they're going to devalue them because it's going to lift them up to put other people down. So they're going to criticize what people do, criticize how they look. And meanwhile, they're old and wrinkly in the wheelchair and they're running their mouths. Okay, they're running their mouths like the miserable elderly relative you have that's running their mouth, always picking on you, putting you down or saying something because they're miserable about their life situation. Stay away from these people, okay? You're not going to fix them. So that's what happens. I hope that helps you guys. If it does, hit the subscribe button, share the video and podcast. And if you're looking for coaching, check out the link in the bio. I have limited time because I'm working on another big project. Also, you guys, check out my YouTube at the Game Exposed Podcast. Almost 7,000 videos. I lay it down. All my information you find on there about discard, triangulation, all the ways the narcissist manipulates, blame shifting, how they play mind games, the cognitive dissonance that you deal with. It's all on my YouTube. I do a lot on covert narcissists because I know them so well. I've been around them my whole life. Also, check out Facebook at The Game EXP 123, TikTok The Game Exposed, and Instagram The Game EXP 123. And have a great day.